lose all sense of reality and enter another world. Remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Eric from Hawaii writes into beyond.ign.com just like you can. It says, Greg, Colin, and the ever-rotating Marty. I can't seem to wrap my mind around the fact that there is no parkour down button in Dying Light, the zombie game that proudly flaunted its parkour mechanics. Now, I'm not very far in the campaign, but I've seen enough gameplay footage of Crane, awkwardly jumping off buildings to reach ground level. The player is dependent on piles of trash, cars, softened roofs, and even the heads of zombies to break their fall. I realize that buildings in Dying Light are nowhere close in size to those of Assassin's Creed games, but I still think the folks over at Techland should have learned a little something after Ubisoft suffered years and years of the same traversal issues. Dying Light, in my opinion, is not a broken game, nor does it need a meaty patch to fix any ongoing issues. I'm sure Techland is hard at work trying their multiplayer servers up to par. My two questions are, though, for those of you that played Dying Light, have you found similar frustrations with the controls in traversing the city?
Are we answering that question?
I'm reading the other. He says two questions. That's one question. He goes, thank you for everything. Long-time listener, first-time writer, Beyond. Greg, Colin, Tim, and Nick, best wishes for you and your endeavors. Reach for the stars. If you fall, there's no question here. This is just talking. So Eric from Hawaii has one question.
Can you reach for the stars?
Yeah. What will you do now that you don't have jobs? So I haven't.
You're looking at it.
What have you been frustrated at all?
No. I think it's weird. It's weird to sort of compare it to Assassin's Creed because AC didn't get a downward parkour button until Unity, which was in November, and obviously this game was in development right alongside Unity, considering it came out a month and a half later.
What's I don't know the button from Unity.
So Unity it has a separate go up parkour button and go down parkour button. So for the first time in the series, there was an actual elegance with getting down from a high
it wasn't
building.
Just stumbling around.
And it looked really cool, and like the way the towers were designed, like you'd look like a chimp swinging downwards. And so instead of just being like, well, I'm going to jump off, hopefully I hit a haystack, or hopefully I have enough health to survive the jump. You can actually get down from buildings in a pretty nice way. I haven't had that problem in Dying Light yet.
Yeah.
I think the movement feels great.
I'm blown away by how good it feels for first person, because I liked Mirror's Edge, but Mirror's Edge for me felt clunky in terms of that.
Yeah,
and maybe it's because I couldn't wrap my own. It's a shortcoming of me, but like this one was easy to jump into and figure out and go from. And I really don't find myself falling off and getting hurt that much.
Yeah.
When you're up super high, like you're taking out a radio tower or whatever, you're like, okay, now where's the trash bag? I get that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Outside of that, I think it's been okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. When Greg, I wasn't paying attention to this game at all. I couldn't care about this game less when it was announced, and I'm not a huge Techland fan in the sense that I played Dead Island for a couple hours, and I'm like, I don't really like this game. The one thing that stuck with me in Dead Island that I always made fun of it was like how many suitcases are there to go through in this game. Like it's just there's constantly things to go through in this game. It's insane. Like and I'm glad they dialed that back for sure. But that stuck with me. I was like, there's other things I want to play. I don't want to play this. And I walked into this game knowing Techland did it, and it's zombies, and I'm sick of zombies and all this kind of stuff. But it's like the game is really good. And when Greg described it to me as like Dead Island meets or like Fallout or whatever open world game meets Mirror's Edge, I was like, that sounds terrible. I was like, that sounds awful. Why would I want to go in an open world where I'm like, it's like parkour? And it works really good. The game feels good. I like how it's asymmetric and you're not really supposed to fight. Or you should be scared to fight.
Sure, yeah.
Being out in the truly terrifying to be out at nighttime. Like like I'm actually like really terrified about it. I don't want to turn my flashlight on and like draw the enemies towards me and stuff like that. That's really
I'm a total coward.
Seriously,
I'm like not anymore. Like double XP. I'm like, no, I'm good. Good.
I'll just grind during the day. I'm fine.
Let me get a really cool weapon one day, and then I'll worry about it.
I've been caught away from my safe house a couple times because I get like real bold and and I try to get back, and it's like.
Have you not gone out and cleared all the safe houses?
Most of them, not all of them, but
that was like one of my first things when I was like free. I'm like.
But you could see like those enemies walking around, and you could see like where they can see.
Yeah.
And so you're just trying to avoid them, and it's like when they see you, it's just like terrifying.
Yeah.
Like you would just like just start running.
Yeah. You can
don't
hear
really
them
know where you're
behind
going.
you.
You're just I'm just gonna keep going. I love that tension, that risk reward. It's I don't know how much Don't Starve you guys played.
I played a lot.
But it sort of reminds me of like when you set up camp at night. And you're like, well, how far can I push this?
Exactly.
Out?
I don't want to put any more wood in the circle. Keep getting closer, and know they're getting closer.
Yeah. I'm liking this. This is probably the most surprising game for me since Wolfenstein in terms of like a big AAA game that I was not on my radar, and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm having a really great time with this.
Yeah. So we've been talking about it, and someone had tweeted at me that exact thing is this year's Wolfenstein. I was like, that's a great point, but I think I really liked Wolfenstein. If it wasn't for that, I gave Wolfenstein I think a 7.8. If it wasn't for that just awful intro, that just terrible
really
40-minute intro, I would have probably given it maybe an 8. And
Yeah.
I feel like Dying Light's in the same space for me, even though I only played it for 10 or 12 hours. I don't think I'd slam a score on it quite yet.
Yeah.
But I get really good vibes of it. It's one of the few games in recent memory that I think about a lot when I'm not playing it,
Yeah.
and that
You
I
want
want
it
to
to
play
play.
a lot,
Yeah.
and that it just is scratching a very specific itch for me right now. Like, I don't know what itch it is because I don't even I play a lot of open world games and I don't have necessarily that itch because it's always being scratched. But like the
Constant scratching.
it's just constantly being scratched by a disc, which is weird. And I just really enjoy it. I also think it's very pretty. And I was showing when I was playing with my girlfriend, I'm like, look how good this looks, because I was like, the day-night cycle's slow in the game, and which is cool. I like that. I don't like the day-night cycles that are like really, really rapid.
Yeah.
And the way the shadows move on specific things depending on the time of day is really good. The game's really good looking, and the draw distances are beautiful. The game. Some people have complained about technical issues. I have not had any technical issues, with the exception that I got caught in an environment once and I had to restart.
Yeah.
But the game's always saving, like constantly. I'm actually surprised by how what it saves.
Yeah.
And like how often it saves, so I didn't
Yeah.
really lose any progress when that happened. And I don't want to excuse that; it sucks that happens. But yeah, it's a really, really good game. I really highly recommend it. It's a nice early year game. It came out at a perfect time.
Yeah, totally.
That's the big thing.
And I know a lot of people were concerned about it, that it was released, or journalists got it and critics got it so late, and that's a terrible sign usually.
Yeah.
But and that's why when that happened, I was like, Jesus, like.
Yeah.
Let's see what this thing's gonna be.
And I was so impressed by it. I really there's so many games I want to play. I still need to beat like Citizens of Earth and Ironclad Tactics and a bunch of other games, but now I'm like really, really into this game.
Yeah.
And so I think between now and like when the order comes out, or whatever game you're looking forward to, this is a good time waster for sure.
Yeah. I mean, if this would have came out in like October, it just would have got smothered
Totally,
between Mordor and AC and Far Cry and Sunset Overdrive.
But now,
Yeah.
great example of a game. Getting in here,
January.
having a
Yeah.
chance to read January.
Yeah.
Users lose all sense of reality and enter another world. Remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.